15-yard touchdown reception.
Oh, yes.
Third quarter.
Yeah, there again, we had a good protection. Malachi threw a good ball, and Grady's smooth. He's long, and his strides are long, and he's actually moving faster than what he looks like.
All right. Talk a little bit about the pooch kick, the onside pooch kick. What brought that all about, Coach?
Well, it was just that there was an open area in the
They're playing deep.
in their kickoff return, and we just took advantage of it and kicked it to an open area, and Joe Rager beat their guy to the ball and fielded it really smoothly. It was a nice play by Joe.
All right, let me ask you a question. Did you guys plan that out, or did you all of a sudden?
No, we have it in our system that we can kick it to different areas.
All right, so but when did you make the call?
We see how on the sideline.
On the sideline.
Yes,
So
whether they're lined up a certain way or not.
If they're lined up in a certain way,
Then
you're
we'll
when
try it.
we pull the trigger on it.
Yes.
Now you know that everybody's got film on it, so it's not going to be as easy.
That's right. That's right. But it was also an important point in the game is that the second quarter got a little sloppy. We were a little sloppy, some turnovers, mistakes, and and then a couple of young guys in, and we give up the score. And it's not that we lost momentum, but you just kind of 21-7 at that point.
But if they come out and take the ball back down the field, that's a close game.
It's a close game, but then after that, we got that kick, and then in we ran the same play 3 times in a row. We scored, and that kind of changed the game for the good.
I took Dan Messerschmidt's stats, and you guys got a lot of guys in the statistical department here. Eddie Dager, 12 carries, 73 yards. Stuart Bartow, is that, you got 2 last names?
Yes, Blaine, Stuart Bartow.
6 carries, 70 yards.
Yeah, he had a really long run in the third quarter, probably a 67-yard run. He's pretty fast, he has good vision, he found the hole and just split through the defense.
All right. And Malachi with 285 yards through the air, 15 for 23 and 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Yes, he was very accurate. We had very good pass protection, so it was a pretty total team effort as far as the pass game goes.
I'm just taking a look at all these receptions here. He has a variety of different guys to throw to.
Yeah, Mike Wise.
2 receptions, 96 yards. You'll take that, right?
Every game we'll take.
Braxton Lewis, 4 receptions, 64 yards. Grady Jackson, 2 receptions, 57 yards. He was airing the ball out, wasn't he?
Yeah, we threw it. In fact, in the second quarter, I had to check myself a little bit. They really emptied the box and had guys packing covers in deep, and I said, Coach, you got to run the ball.
Yeah, if they're going to give you that.
Yeah, there still seem to be some open areas underneath, but they emptied the box enough that we started to run the ball and had success that way.
Talk to me a little bit, and I'm not trying to make any excuses, but the bottom line is, were they a particularly young team? Talk to me a little bit about their defense.
They were a 3-4 base. They typically play cover 2. They're not a large school. They're a small D7 school. We definitely had a speed advantage on them. So, and that showed up in the game.
Coach, it was nice to win like 49-14, but you still, talking to Dan Messerschmidt, said there's a need to clean things up. For example, 11 penalties, 91 yards, first week mistakes.
Sure, first week mistakes, which you expect some of them. 11 is more than you would expect. We had the turnovers, and then just handling the ups and downs of the game.
1 pick and 1 fumble. Somebody told me the fumble was reminiscent of, maybe you're too young to remember this, the Browns playoff game where the guy came and stripped the ball from behind.
Yeah, well, I don't remember which play you're talking about, but that's kind of how it happened. So.
Yeah, strip the ball from behind. Okay. The need to tackle better. That's been an ongoing situation.
It is. It's been an ongoing situation, and we have done it so far this year. We are better. I wouldn't say that we're good at it yet, but we are better, and we continue to stress and work on that in practice. And the Mississauga Valley guys, they were tough. There weren't a lot of them. There were about 25 of them, and they played hard. And I think that also played into the role of that we kind of wore them down a little bit too.
All right. Good to be back and talk with the players around the table here. We've got Gabe Higginbotham, Grady Jackson, and Brian Piper. Did I pronounce that correct? All right. We'll do that here in just one moment. Our show brought to you in part by John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets since 1951. Roger Brown, Winks, Lock, and Safe South Poplar at West Warren Street, Bucyrus. Lee Plowell, Brad Seibert, Plowell Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Galleon. Also, Hannah Newton at Wendy's in downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky, and North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. Around the table we go. Up first, Gabe Higginbotham, and you can give that. We got Gabe here right in here. Gabe, talk a little about your role in this football team.
Well, I'm a senior, and me and Brian, we kind of run our line. I'm center, he's our tackle, and then I kind of run our line a little bit too, being the only senior and I play defensive end.
Okay, so you're playing line both sides then, right?
Yeah.
And did you get worn down after the first week? It was kind of warm out there. Any cramps or anything?
No.
Not for you. How about for some of your teammates?
Yes.
A little bit? Okay, yeah. Well, that'll happen in the first week. And Coach, give them, what can we do about that? You're the physical therapist. What can I do about that?
Oh, well, that first week is tough because
It's not going to get any nicer, Coach.
no, but each week that you have it gives you that physical experience, and your body starts to adapt to it. We can run and practice and really as much as you want and condition as much as you want, but that first game, there's always a ramp up in intensity that is
Is
just
it
really tough.
hydration? I've heard guys saying, force bananas at the beginning of the game or before.
It is a product of hydration and that, but I really think that some people are prone to it more than others,
Mm-hmm.
and that's difficult. But if you eat well and make sure you stay hydrated and train sufficiently, those are the things that you can do to try to prevent it. But in some situations, it's unavoidable for some
All right,
people.
spoken well as a coach and a physical therapist. Let's go back to Gabe. Gabe, talk a little about the goals you have for you this year. Got off to a nice start.
I just want to win.
You just want to win.
That's all I care about.
All right, good for you, buddy. I appreciate it. You did a great job, and thanks for coming by. Grady Jackson. Grady, I took some of these statistical information here. You had a nice game. Talk a little about your game, and you caught some passes, right?
Yes, I had a pretty decent game. I had 2 catches and a touchdown.
All right. Talk to me. Was that the first time you ever got a touchdown?
Yes, this is actually my first year playing football.
All right, so talk to me about the first game, first year playing football. Number one, how did we get you out? Where the hell have you been?
Oh, for the past 3 years of high school, I've been golfing.
All right.
And this year, I'm dual sporting, doing golf and football.
Okay.
The reason I came out was really because a lot of my friends played and
All right.
a lot of peer pressure. And I thought, since it was my last year, might as well.
Let's go for it, huh?
Yeah.
Now, is there any regret from not playing the last 3 years?
There is a little bit now.
Okay.
I
Well,
enjoy it a lot.
all right, well, leave it all out on the field. I'm glad that you were playing football. I'm glad that you got your touchdown. Talk to me about that first touchdown. How'd that feel?
It was really exciting. I was glad I could get in the end zone.
All right, good for you, buddy. And Brian Piper. Brian, senior as well. What's your role in the ball game?
Yeah, I'm a senior and I play right tackle and middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker. All right, now that's a little bit of a different combination because guys usually play the offensive line, play the defensive line. We're going both ways. Talk a bit about moving off the defensive line and playing the middle linebacker position.
It's a lot different. You got to be able to read better, and instead of just like bull rushing and just hitting kids, you got to find where the ball's going. You got to find your keys, and then you just got to.
So you got to use your brains as well as your brawn. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. As a senior, talk to me a little bit about putting on that uniform and representing good old BHS, who's been playing football since what year? What year is the first year Bucyrus played football? This is going to be on the final. You better know it.
What?
What's the first year Bucyrus High School played football?
It was like in the 1800s.
Very
wasn't it?
good, yeah. What?
1897 or something like
Very
that.
close. 1896.
Wow.
1897 was the first year they played Galleon. So they played 2 games against Crestline in 1896. Dan Messerschmidt was there. He was covering those games. And 1896 they split the series with Crestline. They played 2 games in 1896. But have you ever been inside Coach's office and lobby?
Yeah, I have.
That night was 1907, isn't it? 1907.
Yeah, the 1907. We have a picture of the 1897.
Do you? Yeah. And you know who's on that 1897 team?
No.
Robert Picking. See that copper kettle over there? That copper kettle, you know where that was made? Picking Copper Kettle Works down the street here. Robert Picking was on that team in 1897. There was only about 14 guys on the team. I think Robert Picking maybe only weighed 130 pounds max, and he was a normal-sized guy in 1897. But yeah, he was the one who was the second generation of Picking Copper Kettle Works down the street here. So talk to me a little bit about being a senior and what it means to you to represent your community and your school.
Being a senior, it's a lot to take in because one, it's your last year playing sports, whether you're going to college or not. You're not gonna play high school football no more. But it's also exciting because you're the leaders and you get to like basically tell people what to do.
All right. Are you gonna play other sports other than football?
Yeah, I wrestle in the winter and
Good.
then I might run track.
Right. Talk to me a little bit about college. Is college in the future?
Yeah, college is definitely in the future. I'm not sure where I'm gonna go yet or what I'm gonna do, but it's definitely something I'm going
All right.
for.
Let's move the microphone back to Grady. College in the future for you, buddy?
Yes, college is in the future. After high school, I want to go to college for something in business, whether it's business finance or business management.
All right. Very good. And how about you, Brian? Or Gabe?
Yeah, my goal after high school is to go to West Virginia and double major in civil engineering and business.
Very good, buddy. That's a big trip there. Listen, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and we're going to be back with Coach and talk a little bit about Crestview. That comes up in a moment. Show brought to you by Vince Ponziani and everybody at Waycraft Industries, Rod Steiger, Pizza Hut, Bucyrus Galleon, host of our show since 1992, and the Burkhardt family at Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette Winchester Road. Coach, Ashland Crestview this Friday night, they come to our house. Talk a little about Ashland Crestview. They're a pretty good football.
Oh, they're a really good football team, a really good, strong program. It's going to be a step up in competition from week one.
What division school are they?
They're six as well.
They're six, okay.
Six as well. They're a physical team. They play hard. They're going to run it right at us.
Are they more of a running team than a passing team?
Yeah. You're going to see some double tight I formation type football that not everyone plays anymore. Back pretty much what they played when I played, but they're physical. They play really hard on defense. They're not real big, but they have a couple fast kids on the outside too. So it's going to be a good challenge for us.
All right, keys to success in this matchup.
On defense, we got to stop the run. We have to be able to step forward, be physical, and match them in that regard. And then I think offensively, I think that we have to take advantage of some favorable matchups that we can get in the passing game, and then also be balanced enough to keep them honest.
Not going to ask you to make any predictions, but just based on the little bit of information you gave me, I kind of see a shootout a little bit, maybe a high-scoring game.
I think it could be. I mean, I hope that our defense plays well, and it's not. But like I said last week, we go into each game with a plan to do what it takes to win. We have no way that we want to be. We just want to win the game.
All right, very good. Gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by and being on the show tonight. We appreciate it. We'll look forward to your visit again next week, Coach. We don't know if we're going to be here at the radio station or Pizza Hut. By the way, Pizza Hut is still in the process in Bucyrus of remodeling their dining room, and they're going to get that done hopefully as soon as possible. We'll be out of Pizza Hut as reasonably soon as possible. Coach, thanks so much. You did a great job. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good one. Up next, it's the Wynford Royals on Coach's Corner West. Good evening, everybody. We're back with Coach's Corner West on WQEL Facebook Live. I'm Davey Jones with the Wynford part of the show. We're brought to you in part by Blythe Friedley and Todd McDougall at Friedley and Company Insurance in New Washington. Ted Coder at the Monarch Body Shop up in Dutchtown. Mike Kleinite, Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, Marion. The Burkhardt family at Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette Winchester Road. And Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center in Bucyrus. And we welcome to our microphone right now Gabe Helbert, the head coach of the Wynford Royals. Coach, when you going into this game, these guys were very good. Of course, you had the situation last year with Otsego in the playoffs, and they came as advertised, did they not?
You know, we knew they were an excellent football team. They returned some key players. You know, when you return a quarterback that's a first-team All-Ohio and a first-team All-Ohio running back, you know, not to mention some other very key players, we knew we were going to have a tremendous challenge. You know, I think it's a credit to our kids and our program that we play people week one. You know, we know every year our week one's going to be a tough football game from River Valley to Liberty Benton to now Otsego. So, you know, it was a challenge. They were as good as advertised. Still proud of our kids' effort throughout the game.
What do we learn from this game, Coach? I mean, you know, obviously you don't like getting beat 48-16, but at the same time, you want to take something out of the football game that you can build for the future.
You know, one thing I think we learned that we can compete with anyone. You know, for a half of football, we were toe to toe with a Final Four team last year in Division V, a team that won our region. You know, we're up 16-14 late in the first half, and unfortunately we didn't get a stop we needed. It changed into a 14-point swing real quick from them scoring to getting the ball back at the beginning of the second half, and that really was the turning point in the game. But one thing we learned is we got to play 48 minutes, especially against an excellent football team. We got to try to find a way to do that.
We were getting phone calls here at the radio station, and I would say probably maybe it was the middle of the second quarter that was 16-14. I go, whoa, maybe a little bit better than what we were expecting here. But football is a game that can turn on a dime.
Yeah, you know, that was the question going in. Will our kids compete? Will our kids rise to the challenge that Otsego would present? You know, again, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to open up with somebody who you could really kind of, dig in on. We knew that Otsego was going to keep the pressure on us and continue to compete and fight. I mean, geez, you don't win a regional championship with the kids that return if you don't have that mindset. So to do that through a half of football, we were certainly proud to see our kids respond, their competitiveness, their toughness. All these guys sitting in this room and Mooney included, were part of that round 3 playoff game last year up at Otsego. We went right back up there, and it could have been the same thing, and those kids did a great job in the first half. Unfortunately, we didn't sustain that through 48 minutes of football.
What was the difference this year between this year and last year?
You know, one thing is I think that we got off to a good start after, you know, we had a tough first play. The next play we forced a fumble, and then we kind of got into our groove a little bit. We made some big plays in the pass game. You know, I thought our kids were aggressive. I think we thought we tackled pretty well for the most part. And last year, you know, we kind of get caught in some turnovers and things like that. And again, they do some things unique defensively that are tough to deal with, and they're very disciplined in their defense, and that it makes it challenging. It's just a lot of pressure.
All right. It was certainly an embarrassment from the standpoint as you did move the ball 100 yards of rushing, although you're probably more than that normally, and 149 yards through there, 249 yards of total offense. That's not horrible.
Well, I mean,
It's not Wynford necessarily, but it's not.
Yes, a lot of that's going to be determined based on who you play. You know what I'm saying? It just when you play a good football team, yards are going to be tough to come by. You know, when opportunities present themselves, for the most part, we took advantage of it, especially through one quarter of football. And again, we got to figure out how to do that through 48 minutes.
All right. Coach, we're going to talk to your players. We've got several guys here on the show tonight, and I'm looking for my sheet. Here we go. Got the Wynford sheet right here, and we've got Kendall Blair, Avery Langender, Micah Karcher.
Yep.
Did I get that right? And Kobe Allen. We'll talk to all these seniors here in just one moment. Our show brought to you in part on WQEL Facebook Live by Doug Ludehold and the Associates at Advanced Fiber Technology. Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Matt Studer, Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of the Richland Mall. Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion. John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets since 1951. Kendall Blair is up first. Kendall, a senior. Kendall, talk a little about your role on this football team and a little bit about, what the future holds for you. Role on the football team first.
I play running back and DN now. Senior, number 10. And what was the questions?
All right, and talk a little about your, the future.
Future?
Yeah. What are your goals for the season as an individual and as a team?
Well, I don't really look individually, but as a team, my goal is to definitely come out the rest of the season and win every game and come out how we did versus Otsego and show everybody that we can play football and not be so much like different. Like we don't want to be different than how everybody else was, but like everybody coming through Wynford, we want to be that Wynford football team. We want to be the Wynford football team everybody's normal to, that we're going to come out, play hard, and hit some people and play great football.
All right, very good. What's the future hold for you? Are you colleges in the future?
Oh, I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet?
Nope.
All right, buddy, I appreciate you stopping by. Avery Langender, for Avery's a veteran of the show. Talk to me a little bit about your role in the ball club this year.
I'm a tight end and defensive end.
All right. When you play the tight end role and then switch over to the defensive end, does playing both sides of the ball on the end of the line, is it that one help out the other a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, can you kind of anticipate what the other guy is going to do just based on what you or should have been doing if you were on the other side of the ball?
Yeah, it does help me a lot.
It helps you a lot. What kind of goals do you have for the team? I might even ask you about individual goals because you guys all have the standard answers, and that's good. You're all team players. But talking about team goals for the rest of this year.
Team goal, I want to win the end-to-end
All right.
and continue winning, and I want to keep stepping on people's throats.
All right. Very good. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Let's talk now to Micah Karcher, who's also a senior. Micah, your role in the ball club? Your role, positions?
Oh, I'm a wide receiver in the corner.
Wide receiver in the corner. Now, how do those two positions kind of play off each other? Because being a wide receiver and then playing the corner, you probably know what the guy's thinking a little bit on the other side of the line, don't you?
Yeah, it really helps.
It does help. Of course, they probably got the same situation when you come into to play as well, don't they?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me about some of the goals, team goals that you have for this year.
Just to get another N10 title, keep being the Wynford team that we always have been in the past.
All right. Do you have goals for as far as education and past high school?
No, sir.
You're going in the Marine Corps, I don't know why.
You're going in the Marine Corps?
Yes,
Oh,
I
God
am,
bless
sir.
you. God bless you. Have you joined already, or
Yeah.
you've already joined? Well, thank you very much for your service to our country, and keep your head low, buddy. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And Kobe Allen is also a senior. Kobe, you look like you got to be part of the line. I'm just going to guess.
No.
You're not.
I'm quarterback.
Okay, no, that's right. Are you a sophomore?
I'm a senior.
Senior. Okay. Well, we've got a lot of kids that we've been talking about. Talk to me a little bit, Kobe, about being a quarterback of this football team. In fact, you played a little bit of quarterback last year, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you kind of stepped up. How is how have you progressed as filling in last year and having the entire summer to work on this? Talk to me about that a little bit.
Coach helped me out a lot.
He did a pretty good job when he was a quarterback, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We didn't really change any of the plays. We just put in we mixed up plays, but I know all the plays already and stuff, and it's pretty easy.
Coach, did you take anything out of your high school playbook and pass it along to these guys?
It's
He's
long,
gonna need the microphone down here.
that's a long time ago.
That long
My
time.
memory's
Well, you
not
can-
that good.
Coach, oh, come on, Coach. Yeah, you can remember some of that
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean, I think some of it's probably universal with football, just the way the route combinations work and stuff like that. But Coach DePietro, we were, an
You were a
unbalanced
running
team.
ball club.
Yeah, we were unbalanced, so we would always work to the short side, to that two-surface tight end. We would get him out to the flat and stuff. So it's not really in our offense, but there's some stuff that probably carries over. What we do and what we did back in 1996 and 1997 at Crestline. So
Now, see, that seems like a long time ago for you, but that just seems like not all that distant
Right.
future for me.
right.
And I remember that very, very well, and those successful Crestline football teams, and you were a big part of it, so.
I appreciate
One more quick question for Kobe down at the other end of the table. College in line for you?
Nah, I don't know yet.
You don't know, all right.
No,
Well,
sir.
listen, if you don't behave yourself, coach is gonna recruit you to the Marine Corps.
There you go,
Yeah, okay, all right. Listen, partner, appreciate you stopping by. We're gonna break here for just a second, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about the Pleasant Spartans against the Wynford Royals next week. Show brought to you in part by Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic. Also brought to you in part by John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein, Bucyrus Blade, serving worldwide market since 1951. Roger Brown, Winks Block and Safe, South Poplar Street at West Warren, Bucyrus, Lee Plymel, Brad Seibert, Plymel Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Gallion, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky, and North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. Coach, coming up, Pleasant Spartans. Pleasant's always had a very good program, but they got bumped last week by North Union, which is a very good football team. Talk to me a little bit about the Pleasant Spartans at Wynford. I know that you didn't put Pleasant on the schedule because they'd be a patsy.
Oh, one thing we have a tremendous amount of respect for Marion Pleasant's football program. What they've done historically, the state titles they've won. The massive amounts of MOAC titles that they've won throughout their history. When I see them on film, they're very similar to us. I think they're a team searching to develop confidence. They're a team searching to try to find some consistency in what they do. And at the same point in time, they're a team that played an excellent North Union team. Week one, they didn't get a chance to kind of ease into the season. They were, kind of under fire right from the get-go, where they played an extremely physical team that had an excellent people returning from last year's team that was I think they were a regional semifinalist team in North Union. So, they played a team week one that was a challenge. They got beat like us. Running clock situation similar to us, so I think it's going to be two teams that are going to be really hungry, trying to get that, get their foot in the ground, get that first confidence, and really hopefully kickstart their season. So, and again, it's going to be a tremendous challenge for our kids. Marion Pleasant's a team that knows how to win. Again, a lot of pride in their program, and they've loved to play football down here for a long time.
Keys to success in this ball game. What do we got to do, Coach?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is going to be consistency, that we are consistently executing our job, that our job is the most important thing before the ball is snapped, and that we execute the job when the ball is snapped. So consistency is huge. I think the line of scrimmage is going to be very important. Both teams are going to really try to establish some things from a running standpoint and pass standpoint, that the line of scrimmage will be critical. I was working for that space between the offense and defensive line. It's going to be the same thing this week.
All right, sounds very good. I appreciate you coming by. And gentlemen, good luck at Marion Pleasant, or at Wynford against Marion Pleasant next week. And we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to stop by and talk to us.
Thank you, David.
We're going to be back with Buckeye Central coming your way, and that happens in just one moment. Right thanks for the stats.
Sure,
Screen wheel. We're back on WQEL Facebook Live with the Buckeye Central part of the show. Good evening, everybody. I'm Davey Jones, and along with Coach Chad Jensen, we're going to be talking Buckeye Central football on Coach's Corner West. Our show brought to you by Vince Ponziani and the associates at Waycraft Industries. Rod Steiger, Pizza Hut, Bucyrus Galleon, hosted the show since 1992. The Burkhardt family, Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette, New Winchester Road. Blythe Freely, Todd McDougall, Freedley and Company Insurance in New Washington, and Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop, also up in Touchdown. Coach is with us right now, Chad Jensen from Buckeye Central, and let's talk a little bit about this football game. We had a lot of scoring, Coach. Nice game over the Crestline Bulldogs, 45-12, and I appreciate, number one, you sending us all this information. You guys got the best scoring machine statistics of any of the schools.
Well, let me give a shout out to those guys, Randy Heiler, Chad Wagner, and Scott McDougall. They do a great job with our stats, so those guys deserve recognition, yeah.
All right. First quarter, Buckeye Central gets on the board at 126. Rex Dean, correct?
Derek's Dean. He was on the show last week.
Derek's Dean, and he completed a pass number 25. Manny Mullins for 15 yards and a touchdown. And a two-point conversion by our good buddy down here at the end of the table. Stephen, pronounce his last name.
Salsikowski, and Manny Mullins was right here who got the end on that one. So
all right. So Manny got not only the touchdown, but the two-point conversion as well.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Now, one of the things I noticed, and I'm going to ask about this a little bit later on, but let's bring it up right now. I noticed that you went for the two-point conversion a lot of times, and then you went for you actually did the PAT.
Yeah, I mean, we're still working on it, you know. Kicker is Tyler Sanderson, and he's sitting right here, and it's still work in progress. You know, Tyler hasn't played before. This is his first year playing football, and so we're still getting him confidence with that. But that's something we would like to do regularly as extra points. But we want to put him in a position to get some low stress kicks, and the end of the ball game there was a good chance for him to try it and practice it, and we'll continue to work that in.
All right, very good. Also in the second quarter. Pronounce Mr. Dean's first name. Derek's Dean. A pass to Manny Mullins for 48 yards and the two-point conversion again.
Yeah, you know, Manny made a great catch on it. You know, Derek's made a good read and got it to him, and Manny went up in front of a defender and caught it and did a great job. And you know, the two-point conversion, I believe, was Derek's running it himself. And you know, he was able to find a little crease and get in on the two-point.
All right. Derek's Dean, he's just a sophomore, right?
Right.
And Derek's another pass in the second quarter to Manny Mullins for 35 yards. This is beginning. Manny, you're getting yourself open, aren't you, buddy? Yeah.
You know, that was one where Derek's made a great read. I think we had run Tyler in motion there on that play, and the post was open, or excuse me, the flag route was open, or we call it 7, and it was open, and he got a good read on it, and it was a good catch and good throw.
All right. The conversion failed on this one.
Yeah, because Derek's didn't make a very good throw on that one.
All right.
Derek's made a lot of good throws on the night, but that one was got a little pressure, and just on the outstretched hands of Tyler here. So, but that was the only one we didn't make.
And in the third quarter, touchdown number 4. Derek's Dean pass completion to Tyler Sanderson for 8 yards. 6 yards.
Yeah, and that was we were able to run Tyler in motion, and he was wide open, and we got a good catch and a good pass.
And another two-point conversion.
Right. And that was Trevor Curtis, and he was wide open there in the end zone.
Colin Rollinson runs for 27 yards for your next touchdown in the third quarter. Two-point conversion again from Derek's Dean to Tyler Sanderson. And in the fourth quarter, we get Manny Mullins running for 16 yards, and we go for the PAT, right?
Yeah, and we were able to, you know, Crestline, they tried to take away our run in the first half and did a pretty good job with that. And we were able to throw on them. So then on the second half,
Really jammed the box a little bit?
Yeah, they did. They were in a 3-deep coverage, and that's why we were able to throw a little bit on them. And then they went to a 2-deep coverage and a 4-3 look, and then we were able to run it on them. So it was kind of, they had to pick their poison on what they wanted to do to try to take one away. And that's what you do. You try to take something away. And they took our run away, and then when they tried to take our pass away later, we were able to run it a little bit. So
of course, it's a sign of a pretty good coach and a pretty good football team if you take what they're going to give you.
Yeah, and we stress that to our kids. You know, I mean, a lot of people thought that we're just going to pound the ball, and we still want to run the football. But we're, you know, if we can throw it and do some things, then we want to be able to do that too.
Let's take a look at some of these stats here. Rushing stats. Colin Wallinson, 80 yards on 8 carries. Manny Mullins, 66 yards, 5 carries. Touchdown each. Derek Dean, the sophomore quarterback, 20 yards on 4 carries passing. Derek Dean, 8 of 13 for 178 yards. That's sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, it was a really good start for him in his first start, and he made some nice plays. You know, and we just, it was really team effort. If you notice, I mean, the passes went around, you know, to everybody. We had 3 kids with 2 or more, and 1 with 1, and you know, we were 3 guys that ran football. So it was really a team effort.
All right. We had Mullins with 3 receptions, Anderson 2, Damian Dean with 2, and I'm going to get this, buddy, all right? We had Stephen Sostakowski.
That is fantastic.
All right.
Good job.
Well, see, I told you I was from Toledo, buddy. We've got a great Polish neighborhood up there, and you'd go great at Toledo Wynford High School because, you know.
We'll keep him
We're
here.
gonna keep
We
him.
like him here. We like Stephen here.
Yeah,
so
well,
we'll keep him.
we're going to keep him, but I'll tell you right now that's where I learned the Polish names and so on and so forth, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to break for a second, talk to all these young men. Hopefully I'll be able to pronounce your name well the second time around. We're going to break for a second. Our show brought to you in part on WQEL Facebook Live by Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, Marion, Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center, Doug Moodhole and the Associates at Advanced Fiber Technology, Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Matt Suter, Spitzer, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of the Richland Mall. Let's go around the table right now. We're going to go with Kenny Oots first, who is a junior. Kenny, talk to me about your role in this football team.
I'm an offensive and defensive lineman. I play left tackle and defensive end.
You did the same thing last year, didn't you?
Yep.
All right, and you know, so how's it going this year? You know, you got that extra year. You were sophomore last year, now a junior. Talk a little bit about the year of growth and how's this football team's jumping?
Oh yeah. After having a year under my belt, a little bit more experienced, more decisive with my decisions, a little bit more of a leader on the line, both sides of the ball.
All right. You have some goals that you'd like to reach this year as a team and as an individual?
Really just win football games, make the playoffs this year hopefully, and that's about it.
All right, and that playoff situation is interesting. You guys are in Division 7, right, Coach?
Yep.
And Division 7 with the extra added, there's a very good reasonable chance. We'd love to be doing some Buckeye Central playoff football. We hope you guys are there. Tyler Sanderson's also a junior. Tyler, your role in the football team?
I'm a receiver on offense and I play safety on defense.
All right, 2 receptions, a touchdown, 26 yards. You got to feel pretty proud of that Friday night job.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting going on my first Friday night football game. It was even better that I got a touchdown, so that was really fun.
All right, goals for this year?
Like Kenny said, really like to make the playoffs, win a few football games, and just get to that playoff spot.
Manny Mullins is also a junior. Manny, talk a little about your role in the football team.
I'm running back and a linebacker.
All right, you also you came out of the backfield and caught 3 touchdowns. What was that? 98 yards, 3 receptions, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So every time you got the ball, you got into the end zone.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice work. Nice Friday night's job. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little about how that made you feel.
I was happy. I mean, of course you're gonna be happy when that happens, but I was just happy that we got the win. That's all I really cared about.
All right. Well, good job. Well done, young man. Goals for the future?
Just like they said, we want to make the playoffs, win games.
Steven, I got to go around here. Sostakowski, right?
That's right.
Okay. Steven, let's see. You had 1 reception for 34 yards. Talk to me a little about that reception, and did you know the ball was coming to you, or were you an option B?
Well, I think I was more than option B. I was probably the last option on the field, but it was really a great job by my quarterback, Derek. He looked at me, waved me upfield, and I felt that there was nobody behind me, so I floated back, and he gave me a perfect pass, and I ran.
All right, very good. Job well done, young man. Talk to me about the goals that you have for this football season.
I think, like they all said, we're going to make the playoffs, and I think an individual goal is that, we haven't had a defensive touchdown in a long time, so that's something I kind of.
So you're playing some defense as well?
Yep.
You like a pick 6, huh?
Yep.
There you go. It's a goal. I'll tell you what, if you get the pick 6, we're going to have to talk about it on a phone board on Friday night. Gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming by. We're going to continue our program here and talk with your coach a little bit about Triad at Buckeye Central. That comes up here in just one moment. Our show brought to you in part on WQEL Facebook Live by Doug Lulel and staff at Advanced Fiber Technology. Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Matt Studer, Spitzer, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of Richland Mall. Rob Lustin, Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion. John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Highland, and everybody in Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets since 1951. And Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Safe, South Poplar Street at West Warren in Bucyrus. And Coach, let's talk a little about Triad. Triad at Buckeye Central. What do we know about this team?
Well, they're very athletic. They're quick, and they got on the defensive side of the ball, they have very good ends and linebackers that flow really well to the ball. Offensively, they got a quarterback who's a solid, stout kid that runs the ball, and they want to run the ball. They run it with their quarterback. They often will put two backs in the backfield and have two lead blockers for their quarterback. They do a lot of boot action, throwing the football on offense. So they're a run-first team, and they're physical, and we're going to have to play physical to compete with them.
Let's talk about the keys to success in this football game. What do we got to do, Coach?
Well, I think number one is we got to be physical. I think that's number one thing. We got to be physical, and we got to play physical football. Number two, we have to take what they give us on offense. We have to, be able to throw a little bit and mix in and be able to mix in some runs. We got to be balanced, but we have to take what they give us.
Well, it's nice to know after this last game that you have the ability to do both.
Yeah, and we ultimately want to be balanced. That's what we want to do. I don't really want to go out there and throw it 40 times. We want to be able to run the football. We take a lot of pride in that, but we'll do what we need to do to be successful.
But if they come up and jam the box, look out.
Yeah, that's what they did last year, and they did a good job last year at stopping us. Last year we were a run-first football team. There's no secret, and they really did a great job of coaching against us last year, and we don't really want that to happen this year.
I can see a nice crowd up in New Washington on Friday night. Have the old hometown folks come out and watch this football game.
Yeah, and I think there will be a lot of people there. I think people are excited to be able to go to a game and be allowed to go to the game and watch our kids play. So I think it'll be a good atmosphere.
All right. Gentlemen, congratulations on the win. Good luck this Friday night. We hope that it plans out well for you. And gentlemen, we thank you so much. And if you just sit tight, I got some Pizza Hut coupons for you as we wrap up the show. Our show on WQEL is brought to you in part by Blake Reedley and Todd McDougal at Freedley & Company Insurance in New Washington, Ted Coder, Monarch Body Shop up in Dutchtown, Rod Steiger, and everybody at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Guy, and the host of the show since 1992. Mike Kleinak, Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion, and Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center. Wrapping things up, we'd like to thank the people at Pizza Hut for being a part of the show. Hopefully we'll be inside the store next week. I will call and let you know for sure, Coach. But they're still remodeling the dining room at Pizza Hut. Special thanks goes out to my producer and engineer, Danny Lane upstairs, also to our remote engineers and camera operators, Cameron Noon and Mike Sparks. This week on WQEL Radio, we've got Indians, we've got the Ohio State football kickoff preview show tonight, coming up at 7 o'clock, which is just about 5 minutes away. At 7 o'clock, we'll have the Ohio State football kickoff preview show on WQEL. Indians baseball tomorrow night against the Texas Rangers. Coaches East on WQEL Facebook Live at 6 o'clock with Mike Sparks, Galleon, Crestline, and Colonel Crawford. Indians baseball on WQEL against the Texas Rangers at 6:35. More Indians baseball Thursday at 6:35 against Texas. Friday night, we've got high school football, Pleasant at Wynford on WQEL. Carey at Galleon on 107.5 WBCO, the Friday night phone board to follow. Saturday, Indians baseball against the Boston Red Sox. And Sunday, we got more baseball with the Red Sox at 12:35. On behalf of all of our guests and everybody at Pizza Hut, this is Davey Jones. Have a pleasant good evening, everybody. We're done. And gentlemen, thank you so much.
They already got it, David. They already got it.